Good evening, it's meteorologist Michael Fecker. Welcome back to the 9 p.m. all-weather, all-streaming show that we do here every night during the workdays and on weekends. We stream it out to all of our streaming platforms as well as to Facebook Live and YouTube. So if you're joining us from either of those places, please feel free to leave us a question or a comment down below. Hopefully I'll be able to address everything as I go through the forecast, but I'm not going to waste any time here. We're going to go right into what's happening out there right now and what were the changes that happened over the last couple of hours from what we were forecasting just earlier today. Well, we have this Clipper system moving in across the tri-state right now, and as it moved in, it spread in some snow showers, which we were expecting. However, what we weren't really expecting were some of those heavier bands to develop as far southwest as they did. Now, we were always expecting some of those heavier bands to develop across the tri-state, but we were thinking mostly to the north and east of Evansville, but it looks like those bands started off a little bit farther to the southwest, and that actually increased our snow totals here in the Evansville metro area and across portions of western Kentucky, especially along the Ohio River there, with this heavier band continuing to drift through. Now, it is very slowly moving from west to east, and it will start to kind of weaken out a little bit here over the next couple of hours, but snow showers will still continue, possibly overnight tonight, hitting the same areas that were just hit by this band. So while I do think the bulk of the snow in the Evansville area, or at least accumulating snow that we've gotten so far tonight, has come to an end with this band pushing off to the east, we still have some additional snow showers there that could add up to some more snowfall. But looking at the winter weather alert, so during the 4, 5, and 6 o'clock show, the winter weather advisories were still in effect for portions of Pike, Du Bois, and Perry County, but at the very end of that 6 o'clock show, the National Weather Service observed that heavier band moving through, and they expanded those winter weather advisories farther to the south and includes now most of southwestern Indiana and a good bit of our southern Illinois counties there. So everyone here in this blue color, that is where you could see possibly 1 to 2 inches of wet snow, with maybe even amounts higher than 2 or 3 inches farther to the northeast, especially in Pike, Du Bois, and Perry County, where they're expecting some additional snow overnight tonight. They still have some winter storm warnings in effect to our east across portions of Louisville. That's where they're expected to get the most snowfall from this system. But taking a look at the future radar here, you can see most of the snow has still lifted off to the northeast, still including the Evansville area right now, but as the storm continues to wear on into the overnight hours, you'll see a lot of that continues to push off to the northeast and continues to impact Pike, Du Bois, and Perry County, which is why they're still expected to get the most out of this. Now, in terms of additional snowfall, so this isn't snowfall total for the storm. This is now from what's already on the ground and what we can expect on top of it. So here in the Evansville area, again, between 1/4 to 1/2 inch of additional snowfall is certainly possible. Same thing there in the Newburgh and Owensboro area. Farther off to the north and east, where the storm still has several more hours to go, that's where they could anticipate an additional 1 to 2 inches, especially across Pike, Du Bois, and Perry County. But we've all gotten a little bit of snow out there, and it has caused some slick spots on the roadways already. So be cautious if you're going to be out on the roads overnight tonight or early tomorrow morning. The good news is this all kicks out of here by around 5 o'clock tomorrow morning. So it's not going to be actively snowing tomorrow morning, but we still have some of those slick roads to deal with as you head out to work or school. So please use extra caution. And of course, check your school district, and you can even check our website for any delays or closings that may occur overnight or into tomorrow morning. So stay up to date to that. You can go to our website. But in terms of timing out the rest of our Friday, we'll have that snow move out early in the morning, and we'll remain dry with partly cloudy to mostly cloudy skies throughout the day to round off the work week. Temperatures will also be slightly warmer, topping out in the lower 40s by tomorrow afternoon. So any snow accumulations that we get tonight pretty much going to be melted by the time we get into tomorrow afternoon, because temperatures are going to be so much warmer out there. But looking ahead at the weekend, here we've got another chance of some snow, but more importantly, is that's going to bring us another blast of Arctic air, especially through the second half of the weekend. So by Saturday night into Sunday morning, this will be some of the coldest air we've had so far this season. We're talking about single-digit lows with below zero wind chill values waking up Sunday morning. But before we talk about the cold, I do want to address another clipper system that's probably going to slip on through. At this point in time, a lot of the models do keep the snow to our north, very similar to how this one was. So I don't want to attach myself to that idea too soon. But we do still have that chance for some lighter snow showers to move in again for Saturday afternoon and into Saturday evening. But the bigger story here is going to be that plunge of colder air beginning Saturday at night into Sunday morning. Now, in terms of snowfall for the weekend, again, still pretty light, expecting a coating here in the tri-state, but we're likely going to have changes to that as we get closer. So continue to stay tuned, but as of right now, it doesn't look like an impactful storm system. Again, the greatest impact through this weekend is going to be those colder temperatures. Sunday, we have that alert in effect for the extreme cold. So again, waking up Sunday morning, temperatures will be in the single digits, but it will be windy. So those wind chill values will be well below zero, looking like between -6 to -12 waking up Sunday morning. So making sure you're bundled up with many layers and covering any and all exposed skin, especially if you're going to be outside for prolonged periods of time. Now, it is a pretty short-lived drop in those temperatures. We will rebound back up into the 30s by the time we get into Monday, but during the day on Sunday, our actual temperatures will only top out in the teens, and those wind chill values will likely only remain in the single digits above zero during the afternoon. So let me kind of walk you through it. I know it's a lot of numbers I'm throwing at you, but here we are, Saturday night, we're looking at wind chill values. So it's going to feel like 3 degrees by midnight on Sunday morning. And then waking up, headed out to church or wherever you're going for Sunday morning, it's going to feel like the single digits below zero here in the tri-state. And then as we go through the afternoon, temperatures will warm up slightly, but still feeling like the single digits throughout the day on Sunday. So a very bitter cold end to the weekend there. And there's a look at your 7-day forecast, but let me go ahead check out some of the comments below, see if I can answer anything for you. Finley asked, any word on EVSC? I have not heard anything personally. Again, you definitely want to continue to check on your school district's website and on our website too. If there are any closings or delays, they get automatically put on our website, so you guys will be able to find that information pretty easily there. Paula says, good evening. Cheyenne says her house is loving the snow. The dogs are having a blast. Well, I'm glad someone's having fun out there. I'm not the biggest fan of the snow. How much snow has Evansville gotten so far? Well, unofficial reports of around an inch in the Evansville area, and then even more than an inch was observed in the Newburgh area already. So we've gotten around an inch in the Evansville metro area as of right now. And again, we could still see an additional 1/4 to 1/2 inch on top of that through the rest of the snow showers overnight tonight, but additional amounts of 1 to 3 inches are still possible to our northeast across Pike, Du Bois, and Perry County. So they're still expected to get the most snow out of the system. It's just with those heavier bands that set up farther to the southwest, we also ended up getting a little bit more in the way of accumulation. It wasn't a huge amount more, but it was still definitely noticeable. Definitely could take us off guard with some of those bands moving through earlier. But this will all come to an end overnight tonight, and we will stay dry through tomorrow. So that is kind of all the information I've got here. I've got one more question. Carly asking, what time will the snow stop in Evansville? Well, I think for the most part, the heaviest of snows here specifically in Evansville has come to an end with those heavier bands now pushing off to the east, but we still have some additional snow showers that could come in and graze us overnight tonight. So overall, this entire system will be wrapped up and out of the entire tri-state by 5 a.m. tomorrow morning. But that is all I've got here. That's the latest information. Thank you guys for tuning in. And again, for the latest news and weather updates, tune in to 14 News at 10 for all those headlines. And of course, until then, stay safe and enjoy the rest of your night, everyone, and stay warm because it's going to be getting cold out there, especially by the time we get into this weekend.